Good morning students. Today's topic is stomach. We finished with esophagus and now we are coming down to the next topic, that is stomach. Stomach is a muscular organ, we all know, you all read about it in your 11th, 12th and so on. So today we are going to discuss the anatomy of stomach. The anatomy of stomach shall be discussed under the following headings: situation, capacity, shape, parts, relations thereof, the blood supply, the lymphatic drainage, nerve supply. We'll carry on further. So let's start with the first thing, situation. Where is the stomach situated? We all know that the stomach is situated in the upper abdominal part. That is as per as a layman language. But in case if you to write down in anatomy, what are you going to write down? Where exactly is the stomach situated? So let's come down to this diagram where we discussed already the 9 quadrants of the abdomen. Okay, so the 9 quadrants of the abdomen we've seen in the first lecture when we did the anterior abdominal wall. The 9 quadrants are divided by 2 vertical lines and 2 transverse lines. Because of this, they are divided into 9 quadrants. So the stomach per se is situated in the left hypogastric area, the epigastric area and the umbilical area. Normally, this is the position or the situation of the stomach in a normal human being, in which the stomach is erect. Okay, so in that the stomach is situated in the 3 quadrants which are onto the left side. The upper left quadrant is left hypochondriac, then below that you have the umbilical, and just next to it is the epigastric area. So left hypochondriac, epigastric and umbilical area. Left hypochondriac, epigastric and umbilical area. So this is the situation of stomach. Next, come down to second point, that is the capacity. Now the capacity of stomach is different with different ages. In a newborn child, the capacity of stomach is very small, it is very little, around 1 ounce. Now 1 ounce is around 20 to 30 milliliters, okay, in volume when you are going to check it. So that is why you must have observed, if you have a small child in the house, you need to feed the baby very often. It is not like us कि we had a breakfast, a lunch or a dinner हमने कर लिया. It is not like adults. The young children or the newborn or the infants need to be fed at regular intervals of maybe around 1 hour or 2 hours, because their stomach capacity is only of 20 to 30 ml. So therefore they need to be fed on a regular basis. So the capacity of a newborn is around 1 ounce, which is around 20 to 30 milliliters. Alright. Now this changes considerably from puberty to adulthood. In puberty it reaches around 1 liter capacity, and in adult, a normal healthy adult, the capacity would range anywhere between 1 to 1.5 liters. So it ranges between 1 to 1.5 liters. See the amount of change. In a newborn child and just an infant, it is around 20 to 30 milliliters, and in a full grown adult it will be around 1 to 1.5 liters. Okay, so that is the capacity of stomach. Now let's go down to the shape. In a normal healthy adult, the stomach is J-shaped. Look at these 2 diagrams. Please concentrate on this diagram. In a healthy normal adult, the stomach is J-shaped. Can you appreciate this? J. It is vertical. It is vertical. Okay? The limb of J is straight and a small pylori part which is coming like that of the part of the J. Whereas in an obese person, this becomes oblong like this. It becomes oblong. It becomes more horizontal. This is more vertical. In a normal adult also, the shape of stomach may change as per the meal. So when you are empty stomach, the stomach would be J shape. But when you've had a hearty meal, पेट भर के अगर हमने खाना खाया है, the shape may change to horizontal. So we've discussed the 3 points, that is the situation, the capacity and the shape of stomach. Okay, we now go down to what are the parts of stomach. Okay, now let's go down to the next part, that is the fourth part, which describes the stomach. Now stomach is easily described under 3 parts: ends, surfaces and borders. It is very easy to remember. Stomach has got 2 ends, a cardiac end and a pyloric end. It has got 2 ends, a cardiac end and a pyloric end. Okay, it has got 2 surfaces, an anterior surface and a posterior surface, and it has got 2 borders, a left border and a right border and a left border. These are also called as the medial border and the lateral borders. We'll start with the first thing first, that is the 2 ends. The 2 ends, as I told you, this is called as the cardiac end. It lies around 2.5 centimeters. It lies around 2.5 centimeters to the left of sternum, at the level of 7th costal cartilage or the level of T11. Please note this. These can come as MCQ questions. The cardiac end of stomach is nothing but that end of the stomach which is the continuation through the esophagus. So the esophagus is entering into the stomach. That part of the stomach through which the esophagus has just finally entered into the stomach is called as the cardiac end. This cardiac end is present around 2.5 centimeters to the left of midline. If this is the midline through the sternum, around 2.5 centimeters towards the left of the sternum on the level of 7th costal cartilage, or if we want to check from behind, then at the level of T11 vertebral area. So T11 vertebral area, 7th costal cartilage, around 2.5 centimeters from the left of the midline. This is the cardiac end. Remember, the cardiac end is soft to touch. If you want to feel it, if you feel the stomach as a bag, if you feel the cardiac end, there will be 2 ends of a stomach. So one end of the stomach will always feel soft, and that part of the stomach which feels soft will always be the cardiac end of the stomach. Remember this. This is a logical point that will help you when you go down to the dissection hall to hold a stomach. When you find the 2 ends of the stomach, try and roll them between your fingers. Whichever feels soft is going to be the cardiac end. Okay? Now, let's come down to the pyloric end. This end is called as the pyloric end. The pyloric end is present to the right around 1 to 2 centimeters to the right of midline at the transpyloric plane. At the transpyloric plane. So there are 3 points which are related to the cardiac end. 2.5 centimeters to the left of the midline at the level of T11 at the level of 7th costal cartilage. The pyloric end, which is nothing but the continuation of the lower end of the stomach into the duodenum. Now from here what will happen? The duodenum will start. C-shaped duodenum will start. So this is nothing but duodenum. So that part of the stomach which continues down into the duodenum is the pyloric end of the stomach. It is present around 1 to 2 centimeters to the right of the midline at the the transpyloric plane at the level of L1. At the level of L1. Okay. Now, the pyloric end has the presence of a sphincter, which is an anatomical sphincter. Now, anatomical sphincter is what? It is nothing but the presence of circular muscle fibers. So, if there is a structure like this, circular muscle fibers around it will concentrically hold it tight. So, this is a sphincteric action that is present at the pyloric end of the stomach. At the pyloric. This is not present here at the cardiac end. This sphincteric action of the circular muscles is present at the pyloric end of the stomach. This helps in slowly passing the food material to the duodenum. The food does not gushes out of the stomach. It does not, हमने खाना खाया और तुरंत duodenum में चला गया, ऐसे नहीं होता. In the stomach, the food stays for around 1 to 2 hours for digestion. So for that part, this end has to be closed. Otherwise, सारा खाना या जो भी पानी पिया वो तुरंत आगे flow हो जाएगा. So this end has a circular muscle. Therefore, whenever you feel the two ends of the stomach, one end I told you will be soft. This end, if you will feel it like a rubber tube, like a pipe, a soft pipe. घर में हम लोग पाइप्स यूज करते हैं, राइट? तो एक पाइप की फीलिंग कैसी होगी? यू विल फाइंड इट बिट टफ, बिट फर्म. सो दिस कंसिस्टेंसी विल बी फर्म, टफ. You can roll it between your fingers. Whereas this is going to feel soft. This is going to feel soft and this is going to feel like a pipe if you are going to roll on. Some important features which are related to this. When you see in the dissection hall stomach, I am just giving you a small tip. This end of the stomach is behind the liver. So, in anatomically formalized specimen, now remember what I am saying. In an anatomically formalized specimen that you get to see in the dissection hall, sometimes what happens, the bile from the gallbladder leaks out and it gives a green tinge to the pyloric end of the stomach. So this is one more easy way to recognize which is the upper end, which is the lower end. The upper end will be soft, it will never have a green tinge. But the pyloric end, which is hard, which is firm to feel, if it also has a green texture, green tinge color, that green tinge will come from the bile, from the leaked out bile of the gallbladder. So this is just a small example for you to understand that once you have the stomach in your hand in the examination hall, if you are confused, the 2 points that you need to see for is, one, the upper end should be soft, the lower end should be firm, plus the lower end you might find certain stains of green color which are nothing but that of bile, because this part of the stomach is overlapped by the liver in front. Okay. Now, there are few interesting points which are related to the pyloric end of the stomach. The pyloric end of the stomach, sometimes these circular muscles are very tightly bound. इनका काम क्या है? स्टमक से खाना जो आ रहा है उसको बंद करके रखना, so that periodically emptying होगा स्टमक का, एक साथ flushing out, gushing out नहीं होगा. But in some cases what happens, this stenosis, this pylorus, the circular muscles are very tight. This condition is called as pyloric stenosis. Stenosis का मतलब होता है जब भी कोई चीज़ टाइटली स्ट्रक्चर्ड अराउंड हो जाए किसी ओपनिंग के और उस ओपनिंग को खोलने ना दे, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टेनोसिस. किसी भी चीज़ को बंद करना, ल्यूमेन को बंद करना, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टेनोसिस. So one condition which is called as pyloric stenosis, in which the circular muscles of the pyloric end, they are very tight. They are very tight. This is called as pyloric stenosis. Now pyloric stenosis is a very common entity which is seen in male born children of European families. Please pay attention to what I say. When you will be going in for your internship, or some of you who become your pediatricians later in life, you will come with a female who is coming and giving you a history that baby is taking the meal but he is vomiting it out. There is vomiting which is coming exponentially. The baby is completely dehydrated and he is feeble. So this condition you will come to know when you will get a newborn child in your clinic. The mother will come with the history, baby to दूध ले रहा है, he is trying to take the milk but he is just vomiting it out propulsively. Not like कि थोड़ा दूध अंदर चला गया उसके बाद में उसका digestion हो गया and then उसके बाद में due to indigestion the vomiting is coming out. No. As and when the baby is taking the milk, he is just vomiting it out. It's called as projectile vomiting. Projectile. जैसे ही अंदर गया milk, it is just projectile coming out. That is because I told you in the first thing, the normal capacity of a newborn is only 20 to 30 ml. So when the mother tries to feed the baby, because of this pyloric stenosis, the milk is not going ahead only, and the baby vomits out. So this is one of the common conditions that a mother might come to you. This is common in European country children. First born male child, remember this, first born male child, it is genetically predisposed. So you must keep in mind the condition of pyloric stenosis when you are trying to treat a newborn infant in your clinic. Okay, so with this we finish with the two ends of the stomach. Now let's come down to what are the two borders of the stomach. This is the right border. This is the left border. The right border is also called as the medial border. The medial border of stomach. Whereas this border, which is large, left border, is also called as the lateral border of the stomach. This is called as the lesser curvature. And this is called as the greater curvature. This is called as the greater curvature. This is called as the lesser curvature. The lesser curvature starts from the left end of the esophagus and comes down till the time there is an indentation which is present on the lesser curvature. This is called as incisura angularis. This point, this junction where the vertical meets the horizontal in a normal person, this is what is called as incisura angularis. This point is called as incisura angularis. If from this end we mark a point onto the greater curvature of the stomach, we will now divide the stomach into two parts. The part which is above this is called as the body of the stomach, and the part distal to it will be called as the pylorus. So from the incisura angularis, if we draw an imaginary line which is going towards the greater curvature, we divide the stomach into two parts. The upper part, the proximal part, will be called as the body of the stomach, whereas the lower part, the distal part, will be called as the pylorus. Now, coming to the body, from the cardiac notch towards the greater curvature, this is also called as the cardiac notch. So from the cardiac notch onto the greater curvature, if you draw an imaginary line, like this towards the greater curvature, This is called as the fundus of the stomach. This is called as the fundus of the stomach. The characteristic feature of fundus of stomach is that it is full of air. The indigested air, जब हम खाना खाते हैं तो खाना खाते समय air भी हमारे साथ अंदर जाती है. So that air which is ingested during the meals is the one which stays here in the fundus of the stomach. This is a radiological impression that in X-rays we see. These are the findings, normal findings that a radiologist would like to see, and that is how he can find out that this is the part of stomach. The presence of gas in the upper end of the stomach is nothing but the air in the fundus of the stomach. Okay? So an imaginary line which is run through from the cardiac notch towards the greater curvature of the stomach, the upper part is called as the fundus. This is called as the fundus. This whole part will be called as the body. This part from the incisura angularis up to the opening of the stomach into the duodenum, that is the pyloric end. This hole will be called as the pylorus, or the pyloric part. Now the pyloric part is again divided into two. A bag-like structure is called as the pyloric antrum. A bag-like structure is called as the pyloric antrum. And as you go close to the pyloric end of the stomach, this part is just like a canal. So this is called as the pyloric canal. It is tubular, tube-like. Here the circular muscle fibers will start to act, and here at this junction of the pylorus and the duodenum, this junction which is called as the pyloric part of the stomach, where the circular muscles you will find to be thickened. So this is the pyloric antrum, and this is called as the pyloric canal. So just a quick revision: the cardiac end, the pyloric. The cardiac end is soft to touch. It is nothing but a continuation of the esophagus into the stomach. The pyloric end is firm, pipe-like in consistency when you are going to touch. Second point to remember is you might find the stains of bile. So you might find green stains of bile on this end. So when you go to the dissection hall, please try and find out these 2 points. You will not be wrong in holding the stomach in proper position. Always remember the cardiac end is going to be higher up because it is present at the level of T11, at the level of 7th costal cartilage. The pylorus is present at the level of L1, transpyloric plane. It is present towards the right of the midline, around 1 to 2 centimeters to the right of the midline. The cardiac end is present onto the left of the midline, 2.5 centimeters onto the left of the midline. The two borders of the stomach, the lesser curvature, the greater curvature. The lesser curvature will show a small indentation at the vertical and the horizontal part of the stomach, which is called as incisura angularis. If you draw a line from incisura angularis towards the greater curvature of the stomach, you technically divide the stomach into two parts: upper part, which is called as the body, the distal part, which is called as the pylorus. The upper part is again divided by a imaginary line which is given from the cardiac notch to the greater curvature, a small space which is present above the cardiac opening. This, always remember, the fundus is always present above the cardiac opening. Okay, this is the opening. So the fundus will always be present above the cardiac opening. This is important in radiological examination because this will always have the ingested air. It will always have ingested air. The rest of the part is called as the body. The pylorus is again divided into pyloric antrum. The initial proximal part of the pylorus is called as the pyloric antrum. The distal part of the pylorus is called as the pyloric canal. It is canal tube-like, which ends at the pyloric end, which continues down as the duodenum. So with this we finish with the parts of stomach. Next we will go down to relations.